Shalom.
How are you, Rabbi?
Sí, pero no creo que le...
Me asusté con tu
mensaje mío.
timbrada. Yo me he estado quedando dormida.
Que no le...
You're unmuted, Canavan.
Oops, sorry.
You're listening to WTRCRadio.com, where Messianic music lives. We broadcasting also.
Salsa verde. Ajá, ¿cómo está?
Bien, gracias.
Gloria a Dios.
Get ready for the Citygate Salsa Verde show.
Once the car starts, take
Shalom, everybody. Shalom.
Shalom.
I'll be getting here about this time on Tuesdays. All right?
Hey, go live with the picture.
All streams are live.
And Periscope.
Periscope is also live.
All right. Shalom, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Citygate Messianic Bible Study.
Bienvenidos todos a otro estudio de la puerta de la ciudad mesiánico.
We'll be starting our Bible study after a little bit of prayer.
Vamos a comenzar nuestro estudio bíblico después de un poco de oración.
But just to let everybody know, we are now streaming on WTRCradio.com for Bible study.
Para que sepan, estamos transmitiendo a través de WTRC.com, WTRC Radio.
WTRCradio.com.
WTRCradio.com. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo ahora mismo.
And the reason we're doing that
Y la razón por qué estamos haciendo eso
is because come December 10th, YouTube is going to purge the gospel from its channels.
porque la razón que estamos haciendo esto es porque en noviembre 10, the 10th,
December 10th.
o en diciembre 10, van a quitar todo lo que se trata con el evangelio de YouTube.
And we'll still be able to broadcast via audio, and we're working on video right now.
Podemos transmitir a través de audio. Estamos trabajando para poder darle una imagen a través de el audio también.
And also remember, we're streaming on Periscope, so look for Rabbi Andrew on Periscope.
Estamos también transmitiendo vía Periscope. Busquen Rabbi Andrew en Periscope.
You can come to our website Bgmc TV.
Puedes visitarnos en nuestro sitio web de Bgmc TV,
bgmctv.org.
bgmctv.org.
And there's now a whole section for streaming.
Y hay una sección para el streaming, la transmisión.
Don't worry, we're going to keep broadcasting every way possible.
Vamos a seguir transmitiendo de cada forma posible.
All right, let's pray and start our study.
Vamos a orar para comenzar nuestro estudio.
Thank you, Lord, for your blessings today. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful time. Thank you, Lord, for your hand in our life and for those that came out during the cold to study your word. Let us grow from this wonderful letter to the Ephesians, but minister to your flock, your people, in your name, Yeshua. And everybody said, Amen.
Amén.
Let's go get a blessing if you're on the slides. Let's open up to Ephesians chapter 4.
Vamos a abrir nuestras Biblias a Efesios capítulo 4.
This is a City Gate Messianic Bible study.
Ese es el estudio bíblico mesiánico de la puerta de la ciudad.
Ephesians part number 22.
Efesios parte número 22.
We're going to open up by reading the chapter 4 because we're going to hopefully finish chapter 4 tonight.
Vamos a comenzar leyendo capítulo 4 y esperemos terminar el capítulo 4 esta tarde.
We're now up over 300 slides for this presentation.
Para esta presentación ya tenemos 300 diapositivas.
And if you want to be interactive so you can be heard on the radio, send me an email so you can be part of the WebEx.
Si quieres interactuar con la estación de radio, mándame un email vía WebEx.
Let me see what the message from our radio station is. Turn to Ephesians chapter 4.
Vamos a abrir nuestras Biblias a Efesios capítulo 4.
Let me see what the message is here.
Yo, Rev, send me the WebEx for me to connect it. Connect the thing straight.
Okay, we're not streaming on WTRC Radio just yet because
Esperen un momentito mientras arreglamos una falla técnica. Because if you're good, you go to heaven.
I love how we wait to the last minute. I only put it up there a while ago.
But if you're bad,
Copy link.
die when you die.
And let me just send the link. That's why we do things early. So we don't have to stop what we're learning. Alright, so we got the link. Let me just...
Scotty, beat me up. Beat me up, Scotty.
Let me just do this. Because we're trying to stay ahead of the enemy.
Estamos tratando de estar adelantado del enemigo.
because they're going to try to stop it, and this is fulfillment of prophecy.
Porque van a intentar a detener esto y esto es el cumplimiento de profecía.
Because they have to control the information.
Porque ellos tienen que controlar la información.
Okay, that's done there. And there we are. All right, let's read chapter 4, Ephesians chapter 4.
Vamos a leer Efesios capítulo 4.
Okay, Ephesians chapter 4.
Efesios capítulo 4.
All right, I'm turning this off, so don't try to get in touch with me anymore. Okay, because it's really kind of difficult when people are texting in when you're trying to teach a class. So I'm now going to turn this off, so don't try and get in touch with me. If you do, text, and then maybe I'll get to it. Ephesians chapter 4.
Efesios capítulo 4.
Therefore I, the prisoner, united with the Lord, beg of you to lead a life worthy of the calling to which you have been called. Always be humble, gentle, patient, and bearing with one another in love, making every effort to preserve the unity the Spirit gives through the binding power of shalom. Therefore, there is one body, one Spirit, just as when you were called to one hope. And there is one Lord, one trust, one immersion, and one God, the Father of all, who rules over all, works through all, and is in all. Each one of us, however, has been given grace to be measured by the Messiah's bounty. This is why it says, after he went up into the heights, he led captivity captive, and he gave gifts to mankind. Now the phrase he went up, what can it mean if it not first went down into the lower parts of the earth? The one who went down is himself the one who also went up far above all of heaven in order to fill all things. Furthermore, he gave some people as emissaries, some as prophets, some as proclaimers of the good news, and some as shepherds and teachers. Their task is to equip God's people for the work of service that builds the body of Messiah till we all arrive at the unity implied by trusting and knowing the Son of God, at full manhood and the standard of maturity set by the Messiah's perfection. We will then no longer be infants tossed about by the waves and blown along by every wind of teaching, at the mercy of the people clever in devising ways to deceive. Instead, speaking the truth in love, we will in every respect grow up into him who is the head, the Messiah. Under his control, the whole body is being fitted and held together by the support of every joint, with each part working to fulfill its function. This is how the body grows and builds itself up in love. Therefore I say this, indeed in union with the Lord I insist on it. Do not live any longer as the pagans live, with their sterile way of thinking. Their intelligence has been shrouded in darkness, and they are estranged from the life of God because of the ignorance in them, which in turn comes from resisting God's will. They have lost all feeling, so they have abandoned themselves to sensuality, practicing any kind of impurity and always greedy for more. But this is not the lesson you've learned from the Messiah. If you really listen to him or instructed about him, then you learn that since what is in Yeshua is truth, then so far as your former way of life is concerned, you must strip off the old nature, because your old nature is thoroughly rotted by its deceptive desires. And you must let your spirits and minds keep being renewed, and clothe yourself with a new nature, created to be godly, which expresses itself in righteousness and holiness that flows from the truth. Therefore, stripping off all falsehood, let everyone speak truth to his neighbor, because we are intimately related, each other parts of a body. Be angry, but don't sin. Don't let the sun go down before you have dealt with the cause of your anger. Otherwise, you leave room for the adversary. The thief must stop stealing. Instead, he should make an honest living by his own efforts. He will be able to share with those in need. Let no harmful language come from your mouth, only good works that are helpful in meeting the need, words that will benefit those who hear them. Don't cause grief to God's Ruach HaKodesh, for he has stamped you as his property until the day of final redemption. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, violent assertiveness, and slander, along with all spitefulness. Instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgive each other, just as in Messiah also has forgiven you. Amen?
Amen.
Now we're going to go to the PowerPoint slides.
Vamos a la diapositiva.
And we're going to be on slide, if you downloaded the slide number 287.
Estamos ahorita en la diapositiva 287.
287.
287.
We're starting section number 9.
Estamos comenzando la sección número 9.
We are in verse 25 to 27.
Estamos mirando versículos 25 al 27.
There's 10 sections in chapter 4.
Hay 10 secciones en capítulo 4.
And in chapter 4, yes. Therefore, stripping off all falsehood, let everyone speak truth with his neighbor, because we are intimately related to each other as parts of a body. Be angry, but don't sin. Don't let the sun go down before you have dealt with the cause of your anger. Otherwise, you leave room for the adversary. So the synopsis of this section number 9.
So, el resumen de esta sección número 9.
Don't hold grudges. Don't hold anything against anyone.
No guarde rencor contra nadie.
Because people have they simply do that all the time.
Simplemente hacen eso todo el tiempo.
And every congregation, church has this problem.
Y cada congregación, cada iglesia tiene este problema.
And this also happens when you're at work.
Y esto también sucede cuando estás en el trabajo.
So he starts all this, don't be angry with one another.
No se enojen el uno con el otro.
Remember, he's ministering to a baby Messianic congregation.
Acuérdate que él está ministrando a una congregación bebé.
He's encouraging them to follow Yeshua's example.
Él lo está animando que siguen el ejemplo de Yeshua.
Because Yeshua on the cross said, forgive them, Father, they don't know what they're doing.
Porque Yeshua en la cruz dijo, Padre, perdónalos porque no saben lo que están haciendo.
Okay. And they're following Yeshua's teachings.
Y siguiendo las enseñanzas de Yeshua.
Because in Matthew chapter 18,
porque en Mateo capítulo 18,
if a brother or sister sins against you,
si un hermano o una hermana peca en contra de ti,
you're supposed to go directly to that person.
está supuesto ir directamente a esa persona.
You're supposed to speak the truth in agape type of love.
Está supuesto hablar la verdad en una manera de amor agape.
You're not supposed to do it out in public, you're supposed to do it in private.
No está supuesto publicarlo, está supuesto hacerlo en privado.
What section 9 is going to be, what we're going to study about this evening,
Lo que vamos a estudiar en la sección 9 esta tarde
is don't let your anger control you.
es no dejar que tu enojo te controle.
Let's write that down.
Vamos a escribir eso.
Don't let your anger control you.
No dejes que tu enojo o tu ira te controle.
Don't let your anger control you.
No dejes que tu enojo o tu ira te controle.
Because when you let your anger control you, you don't think properly.
Porque cuando dejas que tu ira o tu enojo te controle, no piensas apropiadamente.
See, when you're letting your anger control you,
Cuando dejas que tu enojo te controle,
then Satan is controlling you.
entonces Satanás te está controlando.
If all you can do is think about revenge,
Si solamente puedes pensar en la venganza,
you ever meet those people that they're always like, everything is always terrible?
tú has conocido a esa gente que todo es tan terrible.
It's pancakes and eggs. How could it be terrible?
Es pancake y huevo. ¿Cómo puede ser horrible?
It's fresh maple syrup. How can that be bad?
Es syrup de maple.
And,
¿Cómo puede eso estar malo?
and it's turkey bacon. What could be
Y
bad?
es tocino de pavo.
And it was made from
Y
scratch.
fue hecho de no fue hecho instantáneamente.
Oh, I wanted my eggs over easy.
O yo quería mis huevos un poco blanditos.
You ever meet people that are like that?
¿Has conocido gente así? Yeah, I have.
I mean, you can have it's pancakes. What's bad about pancakes?
¿Qué es tan malo de pancakes? ¿Por qué te quejas?
Oh, they're too big, they're too small, they're too tall, they're too short. Oh, just shut up.
Son muy grandes, son muy pequeños, son muy gruesos, son muy finitos. Ay, cállate la boca.
Okay, and they're always seated next to you
Y siempre están sentados al lado de ti
at work.
en el trabajo.
Okay, and anybody feel my pain?
¿Sientes mi dolor alguien?
Try being the rabbi.
Trata de ser el rabino.
All right. So, Shaul is saying, don't let the world stuff go and start being followers of Messiah.
Shaul está diciendo que suelte las cosas del mundo y comiencen a seguir al Mesías.
So let's go to the next slide.
So vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Let's read verse 25.
Vamos a leer el versículo 25.
Therefore, stripping off falsehood, let everyone speak truth with his neighbor, because we are intimately related to each other as parts of a body. So let's first look at what the word falsehood means.
Vamos a mirar qué significa falsedad.
I'm going with it. It is G5579.
Es G5579.
Definition number 1.
Significado número 1.
Falsehood is a lie.
La falsedad es una mentira.
Okay. Number 2,
Número 2.
intentional lie.
Una mentira intencional.
Okay. Number 3, something that is perverse,
Algo que es perverso,
deceitful.
engañoso.
Okay. So this once again proves that he's teaching the Torah.
Esto nuevamente comprueba que él está enseñando la Torah.
Because remember, this is a baby Messianic congregation.
Acuérdate que esta es una congregación bebé mesiánica.
They were worshiping Artemis of the Ephesians. We know that from the book of Acts.
Estaban adorando a Artemisa de los Efesios.
Okay. So he's telling them to strip off what is false.
Él está diciendo que se quiten lo que es falso,
What is perverse.
que es perverso.
Now, the key to this understanding
Ahora la clave para este entendimiento
is how would you know what is perverse and not perverse?
es cómo vas a saber lo que es perverso y no perverso.
Is there a document that can tell me what is perverse and what is not perverse?
¿Hay un documento que me pueda decir lo que es perverso y no perverso?
Okay, well, there is one. It's called the Torah.
Sí, existe uno, se llama la Torah.
And in the Torah, it tells you what is proper sexuality,
Y en la Torah te explica lo que es la sexualidad apropiada
what is improper sexuality.
y que es impropio.
And that's why, it says homosexuality is perverse. Oh, we're off YouTube.
Por eso que dice que el homosexualismo es perverso. Nos quitaron de YouTube ya.
Don't worry, we're on Periscope and we're going to be on Twitch and we're going to do our own streaming.
No te preocupes que estamos en Periscope y vamos a hacer nuestro propio
Who needs
stream.
YouTube anyway?
¿Quién necesita YouTube anyway?
Thank you for allowing us to use you as an advertising tool for God.
Gracias por permitirnos usarlo a ustedes como una herramienta de anuncios para Dios.
That's why we started our own radio station.
Por eso que comenzamos nuestro propio estación de radio.
And you can listen to great Messianic worship music from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday.
Y puedes escuchar música de adoración bien buena del lunes al jueves desde las 11 de la mañana hasta las 7 de la tarde.
At WTRCradio.com.
En WTRCradio.com.
Okay, because stripping off all falsehood,
Porque quitándose toda falsedad,
the world thinks that homosexuality is okay.
el mundo piensa que el homosexualismo está bien.
It is disgusting.
Es abominable.
It's an abomination before the Lord.
Es una abominación ante de Dios.
Just like adultery is an abomination before the Lord.
Igual que el adulterio es una abominación ante Dios.
So he's telling the baby Messianic congregation,
So él está diciendo a la congregación bebé mesiánica
the world's um, thought process.
que se quiten del proceso de pensar o la manera de pensar del mundo
And speak truth to everyone.
y hablen la verdad el uno al otro.
Okay, so what is truth?
So, ¿qué es la verdad?
Truth is found in Torah.
La verdad se encuentra en la Torah.
In Leviticus 11, Jehovah says, this is food, this is not food.
En Levíticos capítulo 11 Dios dice esto es comida y esto no es comida.
Okay, so some rabbi says you can't have a cheeseburger.
Algún rabino dice que no puedes comerte unas hamburguesas con queso.
You say to that rabbi that I can have a cheeseburger
Tú le dices a ese rabino, yo me puedo comer unas hamburguesas con queso.
because it says don't put the mother in a. Now, if I'm having a goat cheeseburger,
Ahora no puedes comer unas hamburguesas de chivo.
now that I can
con
have.
queso. Eso no te puedes comer.
But if I'm having a grass-fed cow that's been killed properly,
Porque si me estoy comiendo una hamburguesa de una vaca orgánica que fue matada correctamente de acuerdo a las leyes
and I want to
azul,
put Swiss cheese on it,
y quiero ponerle queso suizo,
mushrooms, and turkey bacon,
champiñones y tocino de pavo,
that is speaking truth.
eso es hablar la verdad.
Okay? But if I want to have a pork bacon cheeseburger,
Pero si me quiero comer una hamburguesa con tocino de cerdo,
then that would not be speaking truth.
eso no sería hablar la verdad.
Okay? See, this is what he's trying to tell them.
Esto es lo que él está tratando de decirle a ellos.
Let's read verse 25 again.
Leemos el versículo 25 nuevamente.
Therefore, stripping off falsehood, let everyone speak truth with his neighbor, because we are intimately related to each other as parts of a body. So, the part of the body, if one part of the body is getting sick
Si una parte del cuerpo se está enfermando,
because they're allowing satanic doctrine to come in,
porque están permitiendo doctrina satánica entrar,
then you have to speak truth to your neighbor.
entonces tienes que hablarle la verdad a tu vecino.
Okay? There's like the doctrine in the Christian church.
Es como la doctrina en la iglesia
Did you,
cristiana.
did you receive the gift of the Holy Spirit?
¿Recibiste el don del Espíritu Santo?
You haven't received the gift yet?
¿No has recibido el don todavía?
What? The cheeseburger?
¿Que hamburguesa de queso
With Swiss cheese and mushrooms and turkey bacon?
con champiñones, queso suizo y tocino de pavo?
A double decker?
Un doble.
Oh, no, the gift of tongues.
No, el don de lenguas.
I don't know, did Yeshua ever speak in tongues?
No sé, ¿Yeshua habló en lenguas?
See, this is, you got to speak truth.
¿Ves? Tienes que hablar la verdad.
Okay? So, remember, in the beginning of the chapter,
Acuérdate, en el comienzo del capítulo,
and why I'm using these examples,
y porque estoy usando estos ejemplos,
the Ephesians congregation,
la congregación de los Efesios,
he talks about getting blown around by every different doctrine.
él habla de estar soplado o movido por cada clase de doctrina.
Okay? And that's when you start to get lost.
Y eso es cuando comienzas a perderte.
See, none of this garbage that's going on in the world
Ninguna de esta basura que existe ahora en el mundo
would be happening right now
estuviera aconteciendo ahora
if we just focused on the 613 laws of God.
si solamente nos enfocamos en las 613 leyes de Dios.
Okay? So, when we don't focus on that,
Cuando no nos enfocamos en eso,
when we're focusing on prophecy,
cuando nos enfocamos en la profecía,
lots of prophecy is bad.
mucha profecía es mala.
Then, why does bad prophecy happen?
¿Por qué la mala profecía ocurre?
Because we're in disobedience to the Lord.
Porque estamos en desobediencia al Señor.
So here, he's saying, speak truth.
So aquí él está diciendo, hable la verdad.
Tell somebody, definition number 3, They're being perverse.
Dile a alguien el significado número 3, que están siendo perversos.
Their definition number 3 for falsehood is deceitful precepts.
El significado número 3 para falsedad son preceptos engañosos.
Like there's a whole church doctrine that says
Como esta doctrina de la iglesia que dice
that you're not saved if you don't speak in tongues.
que no eres salvo si no hablas en lenguas.
Where the hell did Yeshua say that?
¿A dónde fue que Yeshua dijo eso?
I thought he said to Nicodemus, you got to be born again.
Yo creí que le dijo a Nicodemo que tienes que nacer de nuevo.
And Nicodemus said, I got to go back into my mother.
Y Nicodemo le dijo, yo tengo que volver a entrar a mi mamá.
No, Yeshua said, no, you got to speak in tongues.
Yeshua dijo, no, tienes que hablar en lenguas.
Okay, so that's a deceptive precept.
So, eso es un precepto engañoso.
So he says, speak truth.
Él dijo, hable la verdad.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Let's go now to verse 26 and 27.
Vamos a versículos 26 y 27.
Be angry, but don't sin. And don't let the sun go down before you have dealt with the cause of your anger. Otherwise, you leave room for the adversary. This is good things for brothers and sisters and married couples.
Esto es bueno para hermanos y hermanas y parejas casadas.
This is great fatherly advice.
Esto es un buen consejo de padre.
You can be angry,
Puedes enojarte,
but don't sin.
pero no peques.
You know, and don't let the sun go down in your anger.
Y no deje que el sol caiga en su enojo.
Now, what does that mean?
¿Qué significa eso?
See, when you don't discuss things
Cuando no hablas las cosas
and then you let the sun go down on your anger,
y dejas que el sol caiga en tu enojo,
then your mind starts to go into a tornado.
entonces tu mente empieza a caminar como un remolino.
And you start making things up in your own head.
Y comienzas a crear cosas en tu propia cabeza.
So he's talking to the baby Messianic congregation.
So, él está hablando a la congregación bebé mesiánica.
He's saying you could be angry with your brother.
Él le está diciendo, tú puedes estar enojado con tu
You know, a
hermano.
lot of church people say you can't be angry.
Mucha gente de la iglesia dice que no puedes enojarte.
Okay? So he's speaking about Torah again.
So, él está hablando nuevamente de la Torah.
You can have a righteous anger.
Puedes tener una ira justa.
Okay, you can have a righteous anger. Write down you can have a righteous anger.
Puedes tener una ira justa.
You can have a righteous anger.
Puedes tener una ira justa.
Okay? Now he's talking about sin again in verse 26.
Y nuevamente él está hablando del pecado en el versículo 26.
I thought we were under grace, Paul.
Creía que estábamos bajo la gracia, Pablo.
Okay? So, if there's no law,
Si no hay ley,
that means there's no sin.
entonces significa que no hay pecado.
Let me say that again.
Deja repetir esto.
You know, this is what you need when you're trying to convince the people that say we don't need to follow Torah anymore.
Esto es lo que necesitas para convencer a aquella gente que dicen que no tenemos que seguir la Torah más.
You know, you say, if there's no law, then there's no sin.
Le dice que si no hay ley, no hay pecado.
Okay? Because the law tells us, the Torah tells us what sin is.
Porque la ley, la Torah nos dice lo que es pecado.
And the word for sin is G264.
Y la palabra para pecado es el G264.
We're going to go to definition number 2 again.
Vamos a ver la segunda definición.
Okay, to wander from the law of God, violate God's law, sin.
A apartarse o alejarse de la ley de Dios, violar la ley de Dios, pecado.
So here it is very clear, once again, he's talking about keeping Torah.
Nuevamente aquí está claro que él está hablando de guardar la Torah.
That means if he's saying keep Torah,
Así, si él está diciendo observe la Torah,
that means somebody is teaching the Gentiles the Torah.
eso quiere decir que alguien le está enseñando a los gentiles la Torah.
Let me say that again.
Deja repetir esto,
Because a lot of even Messianic congregations,
porque hasta muchas congregaciones mesiánicas,
and I just talked to somebody today, they're only teaching the Noahide laws.
hablé con alguien hoy que solamente está enseñando las leyes de Noé.
Okay? And a lot of Messianic congregations teach the Gentiles don't have to follow the
Y
law.
muchas congregaciones mesiánicas enseñan que los gentiles no tienen que guardar la ley.
It is clear by verse
Es
26
bien claro a través del versículo 26
that he's not only talking about keeping the law,
que él no simplemente está hablando de guardar la ley,
he's also teaching the law.
él también está enseñando la ley.
Because here in definition number 2, sin is violating Jehovah's law.
Porque aquí en el significado número 2, el pecado es violar la ley de Dios.
Because it talks about vengeance is mine, says Jehovah Elohim.
Porque Jehová Elohim dice, la venganza es mía.
So he says, don't get angry. Verse 26 again.
En versículo 26 nuevamente está diciendo que no te enojes.
He says, be angry, but don't sin. Don't let the sun go down before you have dealt with the cause of your anger. Okay? So you can be angry,
Puedes enojarte,
but don't seek vengeance.
pero no busques vengarte.
You can be angry,
Puedes enojarte,
but don't seek vengeance.
pero no busques vengarte.
Because a lot of people say, I'm going to get that person.
Porque mucha gente dice, yo me voy a vengar de esa
I mean, they'll even pray, for damage to that person.
Y hasta le oran al Señor para que el Señor le traiga calamidad a esa persona.
And, you do have references of that with David in the Psalms.
Y tienes referencias a eso con David en los Salmos.
But when you're focusing on your anger,
Pero cuando estás enfocándote en tu ira,
it's hard to then focus on life.
es difícil enfocarte en la vida.
So he's saying to this baby Messianic congregation,
Él está diciendo a esta congregación mesiánica,
it's okay to be angry,
está bien enojarte,
but deal with it before the day ends.
pero trata con esa ira o ese enojo antes de que se acabe el día.
And a lot of people don't like to deal with it.
Y mucha gente no le gusta tratar con
Okay,
eso.
when you don't deal with your sin,
Cuando no tratas con tu pecado,
it's going to eat you alive.
te va a comer vivo.
Let's go to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Verse 26 and 27.
Versículos 26 y 27.
Be angry, but don't sin. Don't let the sun go down before you have dealt with the cause of your anger. Otherwise, you leave room for the adversary. Okay? Here in verse 27,
Aquí en el versículo 27
it uses the word adversary.
usa la palabra adversario.
In most other translations, it uses the word Satan.
En otras traducciones usa la palabra Satanás.
It is G1228.
Es G1228.
It is a Greek word diabolos.
Es la palabra griega diabolos.
Okay? And Satan is, number 1, prone to slander,
Y
accusing falsely.
es acusador.
Number 2, opposing the cause of God.
Opuesto a la causa de Dios.
Act the part of the devil
A hacer el papel del diablo.
or side with him.
O estar en acuerdo con él.
So let's say that again.
So vamos a repetir eso.
Accusing falsely.
Falsamente acusando.
Number 2,
Número 2.
opposing the cause of God.
Opuesto a la causa de Dios.
See, when you are letting your anger win
Cuando estás permitiendo que tu ira gane
and not dealing with the cause of your
y
anger,
no tratando con la causa de tu ira,
then what he's saying is you're going to become the devil.
entonces él lo que está diciendo es que te va a convertir en el diablo.
Let me say that
Deja
again,
repetir eso,
because this is for a lot of worldly people who don't follow the Torah.
porque esto es para mucha gente mundano que no siguen Torah.
Okay? If you don't deal with your anger,
Si no tratas con tu enojo,
then he's saying, before the sun goes down,
Él le está diciendo antes de que caiga el sol,
go to that brother or sister because you're supposed to be one body.
ve a ese hermano o hermana porque deben de ser un cuerpo.
Follow the protocol of Matthew 18.
Sigan el protocolo de Mateo 18.
That's if you're equal in understanding.
Eso es si están anivelados en el entendimiento.
Brother to brother, sister to sister.
Hermano a hermano, hermana a hermana.
So go to that brother or sister and tell them what went on.
Ve a ese hermano o hermana y explíquele lo que sucedió.
Don't point fingers.
No enseñalen,
Don't sin.
no pequen.
Okay? Then he says, if you don't do what Yeshua said in Matthew 18,
So, él está diciendo que si no haces lo que Yeshua dijo en Mateo 18,
if you don't deal with the cause of your anger,
si no tratas con la causa de tu ira o tu enojo,
you're going to allow the old self to overcome the new self.
vas a permitir que la vieja naturaleza se apodere de la nueva naturaleza.
I'm going to say that again.
De a repetir eso.
If you let your anger keep going,
Si tú permites que tu ira o tu enojo siga
the
corriendo,
old self is going to overcome the new creation.
la vieja naturaleza se va a apoderar de la nueva creación.
And then you become a Korach.
Y entonces te conviertes en un Korah.
Now, in the Torah,
En la Torah,
Korach got 250 families to come against Moshe.
Corá hizo que 250 familias se levantaran en contra de Moisés,
Because he was angry about a situation.
porque él estaba enojado de una situación.
Now, this didn't start overnight.
Esto no comenzó de la noche a la mañana.
He let his anger overtake his walk with God.
Él dejó que su ira se apoderara de su camino con Dios,
When
su
you
caminar con Dios.
now in verse 27,
Ahora en el versículo 27,
what happens is the adversary overtakes you.
¿qué sucede? Es que el adversario se apodera de ti.
And this, I'm taking some time at this point
Estoy tomando un poco de tiempo con este punto,
because this is what the devil uses to destroy congregations
porque esto es lo que el diablo, el enemigo, usa para destruir congregaciones
and to cause division in churches.
y causa divisiones en la iglesia.
I could see if this mega church pastor guy,
Yo puedo ver como si esta iglesia mega, este pastor o señor,
he realized that they were following Roman doctrine,
él realizó que están siguiendo doctrina romana
and he realized that he had to start following Torah.
y él realizó que tiene que seguir, que tiene que empezar a seguir Torah.
Okay, that type of division is good
Esa clase de división es buena,
because truth is good.
porque la verdad es buena.
But when we get into factions, like, I don't like the way he teaches,
Pero cuando entramos a facciones como que a mí no me gusta como él enseña,
I don't like the way she looks at me,
o a mí no me gusta como ella me mira,
I can't tell you how many times I've dealt with that here.
no te puedo contar cuántas veces yo he tratado con eso aquí.
Sometimes it's just, so they looked at you bad, they gave me the bad eye.
So, te miraron mal, me dieron el mal de ojo.
Maybe they had a headache.
Tal vez tenían un dolor de cabeza.
Maybe they had something in their eye.
Tal vez le entró algo en el ojo.
And then this whole thing spins out of control.
Y después esto se pone fuera de control.
And then the adversary comes right in and he's like, ha ha, I won both of them.
Y después el adversario viene y se ríe y dice, me gané a las dos.
Because, they start getting angry at one another.
Porque comienzan a enojarse la una con la otra.
Because he looked at me wrong.
Porque él me miró mal.
You're reading into somebody's thoughts. Are you clairvoyant?
¿Estás leyendo los pensamientos de otra persona?
Are you God?
¿Eres Dios?
That you can hear that person's thoughts?
¿Que puedes escuchar los pensamientos de esa persona?
So here, we have this in a 2,000-year-old letter.
So, tenemos esto en una carta de 2000 años.
Speaking truth,
Hablando la verdad,
You know, we're supposed to be related to one another.
Estamos supuestos a estar relacionados el uno con el otro.
But this person doesn't want to sit next to that person.
Pero esta persona no se quiere sentar al lado de esa otra persona.
This person gets mad because the kid put the backpack on the back of the chair.
Esta persona se enoja porque el niño puso la mochila en la parte de atrás de la silla, en el
Okay?
espaldar de la silla.
And then they let this problem fester.
Y entonces dejan que este problema se cocine.
And then sin, the devil's like, yeah, look at them go.
Y entonces el pecado, el adversario se alegra y dice, mira cómo ellos van.
And then you get they're both married, you get the husbands involved.
Y están casados y se envuelven los esposos.
And then they get the machismo going,
Y
the
después,
chutzpah.
y después sale el chutzpah o el machismo.
And
Yo soy más hombre que
then
tú.
they start looking at each other bad.
Entonces ellos se miran mal porque yo soy
And-
más hombre que tú. ¿no?
Then verse 27,
Entonces versículo 27
you leave room for the adversary.
le deja espacio para el adversario.
All because they looked at the person wrong.
Solo porque miraron a la persona mal. Oye,
So this is nothing new that's going on
Esto
in
no es
any
nada-
congregation.
esto no es nada nuevo que está sucediendo en cualquier congregación.
But because people don't read the Word of God
Es porque la gente no lee la palabra de Dios.
and more focused on, do you have the gift of tongues?
Está más enfocado en los dones del Espíritu.
Do you have the holy barking movement?
Tienes el ladrar santo, el movimiento del ladrar santo,
The holy laughter movement?
el movimiento de la risa
Sí.
santa.
Do you got the prosperity doctrine?
Tienes la doctrina de la prosperidad.
Do you have the gift of prophecy?
Tienes el don de profecía.
Yes, I have the gift of prophecy.
Sí, tengo el don de
That
profecía.
if you keep getting angry at one another, you're both going to sin.
Que si sigues enojándote el uno con el otro, los dos van a pecar.
Okay? So Shaul is saying, deal with the cause of your anger.
So Shaul está diciendo, trata con la causa de tu ira,
Because if you don't,
porque si no,
the devil is going to destroy you.
el enemigo te va a destruir.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
All right, we're moving on to the final section of chapter 4.
Vamos a la última sección del capítulo 4.
Now I'm going to slow down a little bit. Anybody got any questions or
Voy a-
comments about section number 9?
Voy a detenerme un poquito. ¿Alguien tiene preguntas de la sección 9?
You okay over there? Salsa Verde show, man?
¿Están bien allá los del show de la salsa verde?
Man, everything good, right?
You're good, okay. All right, section number 10, verse 28 through 32.
Sección número 10, versículos 28 al 32.
28 through 32.
28 al 32.
The thief must stop stealing. Instead, he should make an honest living by his own efforts. This way, he will be able to share with those in need. Let no harmful language come from your mouth, only good words that are helpful in meeting the needs, words that will benefit those who hear them. Don't cause grief to God's Ruach HaKodesh, for he has stamped you as his property until the day of final redemption. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, violent assertiveness, and slander, along with all spitefulness. Instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, and forgive each other, just as the Messiah, God, has also forgiven you. Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
The synopsis of this section,
El resumen de esta sección,
as we conclude chapter 4,
como concluimos con el capítulo 4,
you could see that the people have not left their old lives behind.
puedes ver que la gente no se han apartado de su vieja naturaleza,
Because there's still thievery going on.
porque todavía hay robo,
There's people not sharing.
hay gente que no están compartiendo,
You got bad language coming out of people's mouth.
tiene maldiciones saliendo de la boca de la gente.
Now remember, Ephesus was a city.
Acuérdate que Efesio era una ciudad.
It had the largest pagan worship temple in the ancient world.
Tenía el templo más grande pagano del mundo antiguo.
It sat like 50,000 people.
Se asentaba 50,000 personas.
So he talks about using good language,
So, él habla de usar el buen hablar.
let your walk be your talk.
Deja que tu caminar sea tu hablar.
He's reminding them that they're God's property.
Está acordándole a ellos que son propiedad de Dios.
And once again, he's talking about anger,
Y nuevamente él está hablando sobre la ira,
rage,
el enojo,
slander,
el mal hablar, el
don't worry about it,
desacreditar la gente,
being spiteful.
siendo rencoroso.
And he's trying to encourage them
Y está tratando de animarlos
to be kind to one another.
que se traten bien el uno al otro.
Because a lot of people have a lot of work to do.
Porque mucha gente tiene mucho trabajo que hacer.
And this has not changed for 2,000 years.
Y esto no ha cambiado por 2000 años.
Satan hasn't changed,
Satanás no ha cambiado
and people haven't changed.
y la gente no ha cambiado.
And I've been doing this for 20 years.
He estado haciendo esto por 20 años. La palabra para slander es palabra corrupta.
Okay, good, thank you. This shows that people have not left their old way of lives.
Esto quiere decir que la gente no se han apartado de sus maneras viejas de vivir.
This also shows the heresy of the grace doctrine.
Esto también muestra la heresía de la doctrina de gracia.
Because the grace doctrine says we're not under the law.
Porque la doctrina de gracia dice que no estamos bajo la ley.
When you're not under the law,
Cuando no estás abajo de la ley,
let me say this.
deja de decir esto.
Everybody's going to do
Todo el mundo va a hacer
what is right in their own eyes.
lo que esté bien en su propia vista.
And when you do that,
Y cuando haces eso,
then you're going to think Puerto Rican rice is the best.
y después vas a pensar que el arroz puertorriqueño es el mejor.
Or you're going to think Colombian rice is the
O
best.
vas a pensar que el arroz colombiano es el mejor.
Everybody knows the Chinese have perfected fried rice.
Todos saben que el aló chino viene bien chino de Puerto Rico.
Now the Mexicans make the best salsa.
Los mexicanos hacen el mejor salsa.
Okay. So,
That's for sure. Thank you.
the voice from beyond, now that he has his own computer,
Ahora que tiene su propia computadora,
he can touch the mouse and not turn off the computer.
toca el ratón y no apagas la compu. ¡Órale!
Okay. And on WTRCradio.com, you can hear news from Israel during the day.
Y en wtrcradio.com puedes escuchar las noticias de Israel durante el día.
The M&J show, we're talking about the 150 rockets fired into Israel last
El
night.
de M&J.
Yeah, Martin and Josh show.
Oh, el show de Martín y Josué estaban hablando sobre los 150 cohetes que le dispararon a Israel ayer.
And you can get weather reports from Jerusalem.
Y puedes ver el tiempo en Jerusalén.
Okay? And we're going to be doing news all during the day. Little news stories here and there all during the day.
Y vamos a compartir las noticias un poco durante el día.
Now back to our regular scheduled program.
Ahora regresemos a nuestro programa.
Sí.
Es regular.
See, the grace doctrine causes major problems.
La doctrina de gracia causa mayor problema.
Because when you don't follow the laws,
Porque cuando no siguen las leyes,
when there is not solid biblical truth,
cuando no hay verdad sólida bíblica,
like every Friday night
como cada viernes en la tarde,
at sundown
en la caída del sol,
begins Jehovah's Shabbat.
comienza el Shabbat de Jehová.
This is perfection.
Esto es la perfección.
Okay? The 14th day of the first month of the year.
el día 14 del primer mes del año,
at the end of the day,
al final del día,
you are to celebrate Pesach for Jehovah.
está supuesto celebrar Pesach para Jehová.
When you don't have these solid biblical truths,
Cuando no tienes estas verdades sólidas bíblicas,
then you're going to get bitterness,
entonces va a entrar la amargura,
anger,
enojo,
violent assertiveness,
violencia,
and you're going to have people slandering one another.
y van a tener personas hablando palabras corruptas a las
That's
personas.
verse 31.
That's verse 31.
Slander is in verse 31. Okay.
Calumnias.
So when you're under grace,
Estás bajo la gracia,
then everybody's going to do what's right in their own mind.
entonces todos van a hacer lo que es correcto en su propia mente, en su
The
propio
Torah
pensar.
was written for dummies.
La Torah fue escrita para tontos.
It's very simple.
Es bien simple.
Don't do this, do this.
No hagas esto, haz esto.
And this is what he's teaching the baby Messianic congregation in Ephesus.
Y esto es lo que él está enseñando a la congregación bebé mesiánica en Efesios.
He's trying to get them to stop thinking like the world.
Él está tratando de que ellos dejen de pensar como el mundo.
See, if everybody was seeking biblical truth,
Si todos estarían buscando verdad bíblica,
then we don't have problems.
entonces no tendríamos problema.
Okay? Because you just read it and, well, there it is.
Porque simplemente lo lees y ahí está.
This is what you got to do.
Esto es lo que tienes que hacer.
Every man's got to be circumcised to eat the Pesach.
Cada hombre tiene que ser circuncidado para comer el Pesach.
Pretty simple.
Es simple.
Well, I'm circumcised of heart.
Estoy circuncidado de corazón.
No, God said the flesh.
No, Dios dijo prepucio.
It says right there to Abraham in chapter 17 of Genesis.
Lo dice ahí Abraham en capítulo 17 de Génesis.
But you see in this 2,000-year-old letter,
Pero ves, 2,000-year-old.
2,000-year-old letter,
Ves en esta carta de 2000 años
that they were causing problems for the Ruach HaKodesh.
que estaban causándole problemas al Ruach HaKodesh.
What's the job of the Ruach?
¿Cuál es la función del Ruach?
To give you the gift of tongues.
Para darte el don de lenguas.
A tongue is for licking ice cream.
Una lengua es para lamer helado.
A tongue is for tasting the burger, the Swiss cheese, mushroom, bacon, turkey bacon burger.
Dude, I'm hungry. La lengua es para probar las hamburguesas con queso y champiñones y tocino de pavo.
Okay? So when you're causing problems for the Ruach,
Cuando estás causándole problemas al Ruach,
you're not listening to the laws.
no estás haciéndole caso a las leyes.
The whole purpose of the Ruach HaKodesh
El propósito del Ruach HaKodesh
is to remind you of everything Yeshua said.
es para traerte a la memoria todo lo que habló Yeshua.
And what did Yeshua say?
¿Y qué fue lo que Yeshua dijo?
Not one jot or tittle will be lost from the law until heaven and earth pass away.
Ni una jota ni un tilde se desaparecerá de la ley hasta que el cielo y la tierra desaparezcan.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Let's now focus on verse 28.
Vamos a enfocarnos ahora en el versículo 28.
Ephesians 4, verse 28.
Efesios capítulo 4, versículo 28.
A thief must stop stealing. Instead, he should make an honest living by his own efforts. This way, he will be able to share with those in need. Okay, so here we're looking at the word thief or steals.
Aquí estamos mirando la palabra robar o ladrón.
It is G2813.
Es G2813.
Yeah, I like this one. It's klepto.
Esta palabra en griego es klepto.
A thief is a klepto.
Un ladrón es un klepto.
Everybody didn't know they were speaking Greek.
La gente no sabía que estaban hablando griego.
Okay, definition number 1.
Significado número 1.
For a thief it means to steal.
significa a robar.
Number 2,
Número 2,
to commit a theft.
cometer un robo.
Now this is another great verse.
Este es otro gran versículo.
See, most of the book of Ephesians, you can prove that he is teaching Torah.
En la mayoría del libro de la carta de Efesios puede comprobar que él estaba enseñando Torah.
And that Yeshua didn't put away the law on the cross.
Y que Yeshua no se deshizo de la ley en la cruz.
Because in verse 28, let's read verse 28.
Porque en el versículo 28, vamos a leerla.
The thief must stop stealing. Instead, he should make an honest living by his own efforts. This way, he will be able to share with those in need. Okay? I thought we were not under the law anymore.
Yo creía que no estábamos bajo la ley.
Can anybody say the 8th commandment?
¿Puede alguien decir el octavo mandamiento?
What's the 8th commandment?
¿Cuál es el octavo mandamiento?
Don't steal.
No robes.
And remember, the 8th commandment was spoken by Jehovah Yah himself.
Acuérdate que el octavo mandamiento fue hablado por Yah mismo.
So here, verse 28, you can write, he's teaching Torah.
So, el versículo 28 puede escribir, él está enseñando Torah.
Just write that in your notes. Verse 28, he's teaching Torah.
Versículo 28, él está enseñando la Torah.
Because he's quoting Exodus, the 8th commandment.
Porque él está citando Éxodo, el octavo mandamiento.
I thought we were under grace.
Yo creía que estábamos bajo la gracia.
I thought it didn't matter what day we worshiped.
Yo creía que no importaba qué día adorábamos.
Okay, so he's saying the thief must stop stealing. Well, why can you say that?
So, él está diciendo que el ladrón tiene que dejar de robar. ¿Cómo tú puedes decir eso?
You can't say that.
Tú no puedes decir eso.
Because if that's his job, then that's his job.
Porque si ese es tu trabajo, es su trabajo. It's like this video I saw. Guy robs a dollar store.
Well, that was stupid.
But the clerk carried and shot the robber. The brother and the sister of the robber said that it was wrong that the clerk had a gun in the store and that he shot his brother. He should have just let him rob him and call 911.
Well, let's take that a little further. A story I saw in Breitbart.
Una historia que vio, yo estuve hablando de una persona que robó un Dollar General y entró con una pistola y el cajero sacó una pistola y lo mató. Y la hermana del ladrón dijo que eso estaba mal, que él no debía de haber tenido una pistola y más no lo hubiera disparado. El trabajo de él era simplemente llamar al 911 y dejar que él lo robara. Y el rabino vio algo en Breitbart.
There's a college that they're teaching their kids to do away with all prisons.
Están enseñándole en un colegio, en una universidad, a sus hijos deshacerse de todas las prisiones.
And where are you going to put all the Christians when the government wants to take over?
¿Y a dónde vas a poner todos los cristianos cuando el gobierno quiere tomar poder?
Where are you going to put all the Jews?
¿A dónde van a poner todos los judíos?
Okay. There's just some ideas that are just plain stupid.
Hay algunas ideas que son simplemente estúpidos.
Okay, so back to verse 28.
So, vamos a regresar al versículo 28.
A thief must stop stealing. Instead, he should make an honest living by his own efforts. This way, he will be able to share with those in need. Okay, so he's telling him that you got to start following Torah.
Él le está diciendo que tienen que empezar a seguir la Torah.
Because the 8th commandment spoken in Shemot, Exodus chapter 20,
Porque el octavo mandamiento que fue hablado en Éxodo capítulo 20
and Devarim, Deuteronomy chapter 5, it is repeated.
y en Deuteronomio capítulo 5 fue repetido.
The words from Jehovah himself
Las palabras de Jehová mismo
said, don't steal.
dijo, no robes.
So this proves that he's not only talking about keeping the law,
So, esto comprueba que él no solamente está hablando de guardar la ley,
he's teaching them to keep the law.
él está enseñando
He's teaching them to keep the law.
enseñando a guardar la ley.
And he's teaching it to the Gentiles.
Y se lo está enseñando a los gentiles.
Yes?
No. Because it was a repeat on words. He wasn't simply teaching them to keep the law. He was teaching them to keep the law.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's why I said it twice.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
That's what threw me off.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, and he's teaching this to the Goyim.
So él está enseñando esto a los goyim.
Because remember, he's the apostle to the Gentiles.
Porque acuérdate que él es el apóstol a los gentiles.
And he's teaching them to keep the law.
Y él está
That's the
enseñándoles que guarde la ley.
Okay, let's move on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Verse 28 again.
Versículo 28 nuevamente.
The thief must stop stealing. Instead, he should make an honest living by his own efforts. This way, he will be able to share with those in need. Now, in verse 28, he says
En el versículo 28 él dice
he should make an honest living.
que él debe de hacerse una vida o trabajar honestamente
Or work for himself.
o que trabaje por sí mismo.
Once again, in verse 28,
Nuevamente en el versículo 28
you can prove that he's teaching Torah.
puedes comprobar que él está enseñando Torah.
Because the fourth commandment,
Porque el cuarto mandamiento,
spoken by Jehovah himself,
hablado por Jehová mismo,
says that we should work 6 days a week.
dice que debemos de trabajar 6 días a la semana.
So here, right in verse 28, you got 2 commandments that he's quoting.
So aquí en el versículo 28 tiene 2 mandamientos que él está citando.
But since most of the Gentiles, the church of Jesus,
Pero como la mayoría de los gentiles de
The-
la iglesia de
the
Jesús,
assembly of God,
las asambleas de Dios,
did you get the gift?
recibiste el don,
The gift of tongues.
el don de lenguas.
You should repeat to them, did you get the gift of reading?
Le repites a ellos, debes repetirle a ellos, recibiste el don de leer,
Did you get the gift of a new prescription so you can see your Bible?
recibiste el don de una nueva receta de anteojos para leer tu Biblia,
Did you get the gift of a new Bible that you can read?
recibiste el don de una Biblia nueva que puedas leer.
Okay, everybody open up their phone.
Todo el mundo abre en su teléfono.
I can't believe how many pastors and rabbis do from their phone.
No me puedo imaginar cuántos rabinos y pastores predican de sus teléfonos. Even the Orthodox are going to the... You know that, right?
Okay, so here, once again in verse 28,
I'm sorry. Nuevamente en el versículo 28.
let's read verse 28.
Vamos a leer el versículo 28.
The thief must stop stealing. Instead, he should make an honest living by his own efforts. This way he will be able to share with those in need. Okay, so in verse 28,
Versículo 28.
we have the 8th commandment.
Tenemos el 8º mandamiento.
In verse 28,
En el versículo 28
we have the 4th commandment.
tenemos el 4º mandamiento.
So it is perfect to say that he's teaching the law to the Gentiles.
Es seguro decir que él está enseñándole la ley a los gentiles.
Okay? Now, stealing, that means you're taking somebody's stuff that's not yours.
Robando significa que le está quitando a alguien, algo de alguien que no es tuyo.
But I thought Jesus said it was finished on the cross.
Pero yo pensé que Yeshua dijo se terminó en la cruz.
Evidently, that is a misunderstanding.
Evidentemente eso es un malentendido.
Let me say that again. I'll try to be nice.
Deja repetir eso. Trataré de ser amable.
People tell me I'm mean.
La gente dice que soy malo.
Let's try to be nice.
Vamos a intentar hacer amigable.
Let this be the Be Nice assembly.
Deja que esto sea la asamblea de amistad.
You know, when Messiah said on the cross,
Cuando Mesías dijo en la cruz,
it's finished,
se terminó.
and they say it's because Paul writes we're not under the law anymore.
Y dicen que porque Pablo dice que ya no estamos bajo la ley.
Well, now in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 28.
Ahora en Efesios capítulo 4, versículo 28.
Wait, we got to change batteries. Momentito, por favor. Un momento. Klepto. Okay, we've changed the batteries. So in this one verse,
So, en este versículo
we're now going to see that he's quoting not only one law,
vamos a comprobar que él no simplemente está citando una ley,
the eighth commandment,
el octavo mandamiento,
don't steal.
no robes,
Then he's quoting the fourth commandment,
y él está citando el cuarto mandamiento,
work 6 days.
trabaja en 6 días.
Now let's read verse 28.
Ahora vamos a leer versículo 28 nuevamente.
The thief must stop stealing. Instead, he should make an honest living by his own efforts. This way, he'll be able to share with those in need. Oh. Now, he's doing Malachi 3, verse 10.
Ahora él está citando Malaquías 3:10,
Because now he's saying you're supposed to tithe.
porque él está diciendo tiene que diezmar,
Because you got to share.
porque tienes que compartir.
So right there in verse 28,
So, ahí en el versículo 28
we got the eighth commandment,
tenemos el octavo mandamiento,
the fourth commandment,
el cuarto mandamiento
and the tithe commandment.
y el mandamiento del diezmo,
Because you got to share with everybody what you brought in.
porque tienes que compartir con todos lo que te ganaste.
Right, and this is in the Brit Hadashah, the New
Y
Testament.
esto es en el Brit Hadashah, en el Nuevo Testamento.
Because a lot of people say, you know, we don't have to tithe anymore.
Porque mucha gente dice que no tenemos que diezmar más.
Well, then what does sharing mean?
Entonces, ¿qué significa compartir?
From an honest living.
De trabajo honesto.
Now, if you're stealing, don't share that.
Si estás robando, no compartes eso.
Keep your sin all for yourself.
Mantén tu pecado para ti mismo.
We used to have a couple coming here.
Teníamos una pareja que venía aquí.
And I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again.
Y he contado esta historia, pero lo voy a contar de nuevo.
And they used to tithe a lot of money.
Y ellos diezmaban mucho dinero.
I'm like, this guy's making this much money from being an electrician?
Este hombre, yo pregunté, ¿este hombre está haciendo tanto dinero de ser electricista?
Never seen an electrician make this kind of money.
Nunca vi un electricista ganarse tanto dinero.
So one day, we're in road to Emmaus,
So, un día estamos en el camino a Emmaús
and we're talking about prostitution,
y estamos hablando sobre la prostitución.
and that, you know, if you're a prostitute, you can't give that money to God.
Y si eres prostituta o prostituto, no puedes darle ese dinero a Dios.
So this woman says,
So, esta mujer dice,
well, I'm a prostitute.
yo soy prostituta.
Are you joking?
¿Estás relajando? ¿Estás
No.
bromeando? No,
I'm a prostitute.
yo soy prostituta.
By the amount of money that they were tithing, she must have been excellent at her job.
De la cantidad de dinero que estaban diezmando, ella tenía que sido bien buena en su trabajo.
I said, you got to stop that job right now.
Yo le dije que tienen que dejar ese trabajo ahora mismo.
They lasted one more week,
Duraron una semana más
and I didn't take their tithe money anymore.
y no recibí sus diezmos más.
Because once I found out, I'm like, no, you can't accept that.
Porque ya cuando me enteré, yo dije, no se puede aceptar eso.
So here in verse 28,
So, aquí en el versículo 28,
you got to stop doing what is wrong.
tienes que dejar de hacer lo que está mal,
You got to make an honest living.
tienes que trabajar honestamente.
So if you own a bar.
So, si eres dueño de una barra,
I used to know the guy that owned the Laugh Factory in New York City.
yo conocía al hombre que es dueño de la factory, de la factoría de risa,
It's
o
a
Laugh Factory en Nueva York.
It's a comedy place that sells alcohol and other stuff.
Es un lugar de comedia que vende alcohol y otras cosas.
I said, you can't tie that to the to the church
Yo le dije, tú no puedes diezmarle eso a la iglesia,
because you're selling alcohol.
porque está vendiendo alcohol.
You got to make an honest living.
Tienes que hacer, ganarte el dinero honestamente.
So if you're selling drugs
So, si estás vendiendo drogas,
like cocaine or something like that,
como la cocaína o algo parecido,
you know, or pot,
o la marihuana,
you know, now they say it's legal.
ahora dicen que es legal.
That's not an honest living.
Eso no es ganarse dinero honestamente.
Now remember,
Ahora acuérdense,
this was Ephesus.
esto era Efesio,
This was a city.
esto era una ciudad,
This was a pagan city.
esto era una ciudad pagana.
So he's telling them they got to change their lives.
So, él está diciendo a ellos que ellos tienen que cambiar su manera de vivir.
So if you're working a job
So, si estás trabajando un trabajo
that is questionable to the Torah,
que es cuestionable a la Torá,
you got to think about leaving that type of job.
tienes que pensar en dejar ese clase de trabajo.
So in verse 28,
So, en el versículo 28
we have 3 laws being talked about.
tenemos 3 leyes que se están mencionando.
We got law number 8,
Tenemos la ley número 8,
stealing, stop stealing,
dejar de robar,
make an honest living.
hacer una vida honesta.
4th commandment,
Cuarto mandamiento.
and then share with others in need.
Y compartir con aquellos que están necesitados.
That would be in Leviticus, taking care of the Levite.
Eso sería en Levítico, cuidando del levita.
So he's talking about keeping the law.
So, él está hablando sobre guardar la ley.
Next slide.
Ahora, el próximo diapositiva,
Let's go to verse 29.
vamos al versículo 29.
Let no harmful language come from your mouth, only good words that are helpful in meeting the need, words that will benefit those who hear them. Okay? So here it says no harmful language.
Aquí dice,
Verse 29.
no, que ninguna palabra corrupta salga de sus bocas.
In other translations, it says, let no unwholesome word.
En otras traducciones dice que no, que palabras corruptas.
How would you know what an unwholesome or an unholy word would be?
¿Cómo vas a saber que es una palabra impía o no recta?
Well, you gotta. Here's one for you that's coming up.
Aquí hay uno que está por venir.
Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Tararata.
Feliz Navidad.
Próspero año y felicidad.
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish. I used to love that song.
Yes.
The blind guy singing about seeing a Merry Christmas.
Un ciego cantando de ver la Navidad.
That would be praising a pagan god.
Eso sería alabar un Dios pagano.
Happy Halloween.
Feliz Día de los Muertos.
That would be praising another demon god.
Eso sería alabar otro Dios demoníaco.
Happy Ishtar, Easter.
Felices Pascuas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is an unholy greeting.
Eso es un saludo impío.
You mean we can't say Merry Christmas?
Quiere decir que no puedo decir feliz
Yes.
Navidad.
Say Happy Holidays.
Sí, di felices días festivos.
No, don't even say that.
Ni diga eso.
That's harmful language.
Eso es el mal hablar.
You can say Happy Hanukkah.
Puedes decir feliz Hanukkah.
Well, I don't see Hanukkah in the New Testament.
Yo no veo Hanukkah en el Nuevo Testamento.
Then you haven't read John chapter 10, verse 22.
Entonces no has leído Juan capítulo 10, versículo 22.
Yeshua was in the temple and it was the feast of dedication. Hanukkah.
Yeshua estaba en el templo cuando estaban celebrando el festival de la dedicación. Eso es Hanukkah.
Raved, are you sleeping?
No!
Asher won't let him sleep.
I'm eating strawberries with Usher.
Oh, you can turn your camera on, it's WebEx.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to verse 29 again.
Vamos a versículo 29 nuevamente.
Because you can see what when you slow down, you can see what he's trying to teach the people.
Porque cuando te detienes, puedes ver lo que él está enseñando al pueblo.
It's what I try to do here.
Es lo que intento hacer aquí.
Leave the old life behind you.
Deja la vieja vida atrás.
And he's saying, let no harmful language come from your mouth.
Que no salga ninguna palabra corrupta de tus bocas.
Only good words that are helpful.
Solo palabras que edifican.
Okay? What would a good word be?
¿Qué sería una buena palabra?
You know, do you understand the feast of Hag Matzah?
¿Entiendes el festival de Hag Matzah?
Do you understand how the laws go together?
¿Entiende cómo se unen las leyes? They'll fly.
Okay? It's sort of like our last week's Shabbat lesson.
Como la lección del Shabbat de la semana pasada.
Termite syndrome number 2.
El síndrome de termite número 2.
You didn't think agriculture would be, you know, a real big issue.
No pensabas que la agricultura sería un asunto grande.
But once you understand how the laws go together,
Pero ya cuando entiendes cómo se encajan las leyes,
then the good words that were coming from the pulpit this past Shabbat
entonces las buenas palabras que salieron del púlpito este último Shabbat
will meet the needs of the people.
va a suplir las necesidades de la gente.
But if you don't want to, you want to say, do you have the gift of tongues?
Pero si quieres decir que si tienes el don de lenguas,
Have you been slain in the spirit?
has sido
Do you have the gift of prophecy?
tienes el don de profecía.
Okay. See, that's what he's not talking about that here.
Él no está hablando sobre esto aquí.
But when you come at reading Ephesians from a Torah perspective,
Pero cuando lees Efesios de un perspectivo de la Torah,
that's a good thing to write down.
eso es una cosa buena para escribir.
Read the book of Ephesians with a Torah perspective.
Lean el libro de Efesios con un perspectivo de la Torah.
Read the book of Ephesians with a Torah perspective.
Lee el libro de Efesios con un perspectivo de Torah.
Read the book of Ephesians with a Torah perspective, proper Torah perspective.
Lee el libro de Efesios o la carta de Efesios con un perspectivo apropiado de Torah.
Okay, let's read verse 29 again.
Vamos a leer el versículo 29 nuevamente.
Let no harmful language come from your mouth, only good words that are helpful in meeting the need, words that will benefit those who hear them. Okay? So where would I find the guidelines for good words?
¿A dónde encontraría yo las normas para buenas palabras?
Where would I find the guidelines for anything?
¿A dónde encontraría yo las normas por cualquier cosa?
Where would I find the guidelines for the way I should conduct my life?
¿A dónde voy a encontrar las normas o las instrucciones de cómo vivir mi vida?
Well, what would they be reading?
¿Qué estarían ellos leyendo?
Were they reading their own copy of the Gospels?
¿Ellos estaban leyendo sus propias copias de los evangelios?
No,
No.
but they were reading a copy of the Torah.
Ellos estaban leyendo una copia de la Torah.
Okay? So here he's saying, don't gossip.
Él está diciendo aquí, no riegue chismes.
Don't gossip.
No riegue chismes.
Now that's a big problem for most people.
Eso es un gran problema para muchos.
Did you hear the one about this one?
¿Escuchaste lo último de esta persona?
Oh, did you? No, I got a better one. Did you hear about this one?
Mejor la escuchaste sobre esta.
Okay. So he's saying only let good words come from your mouth.
Él está diciendo que solo salgan palabras edificantes de su boca.
What does that mean?
¿Qué significa eso?
If you don't have your parents said, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all.
Tus padres te han dicho que si no tienes nada bueno que decir, no digas nada.
Okay, that is, so the same that he's trying to teach them.
Esto es lo mismo que le estaba enseñando a ellos.
Let good words come from your mouth.
Deje que buenas palabras salgan de su boca.
Things that would glorify Yeshua.
Palabras que glorificaran a Yeshua.
Things that would glorify the Father.
Palabras que glorifican al Padre.
Things that you learned about the Bible this week.
Cosas que aprendiste de la Biblia esta semana.
Okay, going on to next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Okay, verse number 30.
Versículo número 30.
Don't cause grief to God's Ruach HaKodesh, for he has stamped you as his property until the day of final redemption. Now let's see what the word grief means.
Vamos a ver qué significa la palabra aflicción, causar aflicción.
Okay, it is G3076.
Es
G3076. 3076.
3076.
Okay, number 1,
Número 1,
to make sorrowful.
hacer triste.
Number 2,
Número 2,
cause grief.
causar causar aflicción.
Number 3,
Número 3,
to offend.
ofender.
Okay, so he's telling them, don't offend the Ruach HaKodesh.
Él le está diciendo que no ofendan al Ruach HaKodesh.
How does one offend the Ruach?
¿Cómo es que uno ofende el Ruach?
By disobeying the commandments.
Desobedecer el mandamiento, los mandamientos.
Because the job of the Ruach
Porque la función del
is
Ruach
not to give you the gift of
es
prophecy,
no darte el don de profecía.
because what did Yeshua say the job of the Ruach is?
Porque ¿qué fue lo que Yeshua dijo que es la función del Ruach?
To remind you of everything that he said.
Para recordarte de todo lo que él habló.
Not did you get the gift of speaking in tongues.
No, si recibiste el don de hablar en lenguas.
How would you cause sadness to the Ruach?
¿Cómo es que causas tristeza al Ruach?
See, once you realize what the job of the Ruach HaKodesh is,
Ya cuando sepas qué es la función del Ruach HaKodesh,
how would you cause him sadness?
¿cómo es que lo entristecería?
He told you, watch out for that stumbling block.
Él te dice que cuidado con ese obstáculo.
Don't let the sun go down in your anger.
No dejes que el sol caiga en tu ira.
Stop living the lives you used to live.
Deja de vivir la vida que vivías.
Stop stealing.
Deja de robar.
Start tithing.
Empieza a diezmar.
Okay? When you're not doing any of these things,
Cuando no estás haciendo estas cosas,
then you're causing grief to the Ruach HaKodesh.
entonces le estás causando, what's the word he said? Contristar.
Aflicción o angustia.
Right. Le estás causando angustia o aflicción al Ruach HaKodesh. Thank you.
Okay, let's read verse 30 again.
Vamos a leer el versículo 30 nuevamente.
Don't cause grief to God's Ruach HaKodesh, for he has stamped you as his property until the day of final redemption. Okay, if you're supposed to be the property of the holy, perfect God,
Si está supuesto ser la propiedad del santo Dios perfecto,
let me say that again,
deja repetir eso.
because we're supposed to be it's saying here, stamped you as his property.
Aquí dice que te selló como su propiedad.
If Jehovah is holy and perfect,
Si Jehová es santo y perfecto,
how can you keep acting like a pagan?
¿cómo es que puedes seguir actuando como un pagano?
Let me say that again.
Deja repetir esto.
This is a great letter once you really start slowing down and looking at it.
Es una gran carta cuando te detienes y empiezas a mirarlo bien.
But without the knowledge of Torah, you really don't understand what he's saying.
Pero sin la sabiduría o el conocimiento de Torah, en verdad no sabes lo que él está diciendo.
Because it says in verse 30, let's read verse 30 again.
Porque él dice en el versículo 30, vamos a leer el versículo 30 nuevamente.
Don't cause grief to God's Ruach HaKodesh, for he has stamped you as his property until the day of final redemption. Now he's talking about God the Father.
Él está hablando sobre Dios el Padre.
Because remember early in the chapter, and in the previous chapter, he was praying to the Father.
En el capítulo previo, él estaba orándole al Padre.
Okay? So here, who is
Correcting me.
Is Isabel correcting you?
No.
Okay. All right. Leave him alone. He's trying to translate.
Okay.
We'll ask for your help when needed. You're not here. We have all this chocolate that's going to waste.
Oh, it ain't going to waste.
All this chocolate in the nice heat where you didn't have to pay for your heat at your own home.
Butterfingers.
Got Butterfingers
And crunch.
and Crunch. And all you people are not eating. Okay. All right, so let's read verse 30 again.
Vamos a leer el versículo 30 nuevamente.
WTRCradio.com.
WTRCradio.com.
Okay. Verse 30, versículo 30. Don't cause grief to God's Ruach HaKodesh, for he has stamped you as his property until the day of final redemption. Remember, Yeshua said, the Father will send the Ruach in my name.
Acuérdate que Yeshua dijo que el Padre enviará el Ruach en su nombre.
So the Ruach is the Father's worker.
So, el Ruach es el trabajador del Padre.
So that means God, that he's writing about God here, is the Father once again.
Él está escribiendo aquí que Dios nuevamente es el Padre.
And you're supposed to be stamped as his property.
Y eres sellado como su propiedad.
So you're supposed to be the property of a holy, perfect king.
So, entonces eres propiedad de un rey santo perfecto.
How could you keep still acting like a pagan?
¿Cómo es que puedes seguir actuando como un pagano?
By eating unclean foods.
Comiendo comidas impuras.
Foods that Leviticus 11 tells you is not food.
Cosas que Levítico 11 que te explica que no es comida.
This is what the Gentile doesn't understand when Yeshua said, all foods are clean.
Esto es lo que los gentiles no entienden cuando Yeshua dijo que todas las comidas son limpias.
Food, that is, what is food?
¿Qué es comida?
If I give you dog dew on a dish, you're not going to call that food.
Si te doy excremento de perro en un plato, no vas a llamar eso comida.
Why aren't you going to call it food?
Y
Some
por-
people think it might be.
¿Y por qué no lo vas a llamar comida? Alguna gente tal vez piense que sí.
Are you going to eat human flesh?
¿Vas a comer carne humana?
Some people eat human flesh.
Alguna gente come carne humana.
Are you going to eat blood?
¿Vas a comer sangre?
Some people are eating blood. What was the story that Rebbetzin was telling me about?
Hay gente que come sangre. Había una historia que Rebbetzin me estaba contando.
There's a craze going on drinking human blood or something now.
Adrenochrome.
There's a story. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to stop acting like a pagan. That means, once again,
Tienes que dejar de actuar como un pagano. Eso quiere decir nuevamente
in verse 30, he's talking about keeping the law.
que en el versículo 30 él está hablando sobre guardar la ley.
Let's read verse 30 again.
Vamos a leer el versículo 30 nuevamente.
Don't cause grief to God's Ruach HaKodesh, for he has stamped you as his property until the day of final redemption. Okay, so if you keep acting like a pagan,
So, si sigues actuando como un pagano,
what's going to happen on the final day of redemption?
¿qué va a suceder en el día final de la redención?
What do you think's going to happen, Sandra?
¿Qué tú piensas que va a suceder, Sandra?
You can unmute, we can hear you.
Oh, we're not gonna make it. Not gonna make it there.
Well, what's going to happen that day?
¿Qué va a suceder ese día?
We'll be judged for not following.
Vamos a ser juzgados por no seguir.
Rebellion, disobedience.
Okay. All right. Mia, is Mia there, or is she playing or something?
Mía,
She's washing dishes.
She's watching YouTube.
No,
Washing dishes.
Oh, okay. She's a human dishwasher.
Exactly.
Okay. Marty,
Martín,
Salsa Verde man.
Tapatío.
I'm washing dishes. Well, Rabbi, the verse says that we are sealed with the Ruach HaKodesh.
El versículo dice que estamos
So-
sellados con el Ruach HaKodesh.
And so the church,
So, la iglesia,
if they don't never keep the commandments, they get away with the law.
ellos no guardan la ley.
So they never had the Holy Spirit. I mean the Ruach HaKodesh, right?
Well, what's going to happen on the final day of redemption?
¿Qué va a suceder en el día de la redención final?
Now remember, the whole world is listening because we're on YouTube and
Acuérdate que el
WTRCradio.com.
mundo entero está escuchando porque estamos en YouTube y en WTRCradio.com.
Because in the case of Saul, he had the Ruach HaKodesh, right?
En
So
el caso
when
de
he
Saúl
left,
tenemos
Wait.
el... Oh,
That's what I'm going to do.
okay.
Go ahead, Martin.
King Saul, el rey Saúl, when he left God, God took away his ruach from him, right?
Well, we're talking about the final day.
Estamos hablando del día final.
No, I was thinking in that context of, in the end, King Saul, he died. I mean, he didn't have no protection, so he went into judgment. So, in the final day, same thing. We don't have the seal, the kosher seal of the Ruach HaKodesh by keeping the law. So therefore, we're gonna be judged and thrown into lake of fire. I don't know. Because
Well-
the Ruach HaKodesh, it says the function of the Ruach HaKodesh is to remind us the Word of God. But how is the Ruach gonna remind us something that we don't read, something that we don't? It is not a daily food. You know what I mean? So the Ruach HaKodesh reminds us something that we already know, something that we already went through. So I think that would be the function, So if we don't study the Torah, the Ruach is not going to remind us something that we don't, that we don't exercise it. So I don't know. I'm talking a lot of salsa over here.
You're circling, you're all lost in the supermarket. You can no longer shop happily.
Está perdido en el supermercado. Ya no puede comprar alegremente.
You got out of the Spanish section. You're now in the Polish section or something. All right. So the last day of redemption, everybody's going to have a day of redemption.
So, el día final de la redención, todo el mundo va a tener ese día.
Redemption is not only good.
La redención no simplemente es bueno.
Redemption means that there's a price that's going to have to be extracted.
Redención significa que hay un precio que va a tener que cobrarse.
Or you're redeeming your reward points.
O estás redimiendo tus puntos de ganancia.
Okay, so you're going to be redeemed one way or another.
Vas a ser redimido de una manera u otra.
So if you're stamped as his property,
Si estás sellado como su propiedad
and you're still acting like a witch or a bruja,
y estás todavía actuando como una bruja,
what does Yeshua tell us in Matthew chapter 7?
¿qué es lo que nos dice Yeshua en Mateo capítulo 7?
I don't know you.
No te conozco,
But we preached in your name.
pero predicamos en tu nombre.
We healed in your name.
Sanamos en tu nombre.
And Yeshua turns around to
Y,
Yeshua turns around to those believers
y Yeshua da la vuelta a esos creyentes
and says, I don't know you.
y les dice, no te conozco.
That's you. Salud. Let's go on to the next slide.
A la próxima diapositiva.
Verse 28 to 32. One last read.
Versículos 28 al versículo 32.
We're going to be then focusing on verse 32.
Entonces nos vamos a enfocar en el versículo 32.
The thief must stop stealing. Instead, he should make an honest living by his own efforts. This way, he'll be able to share with those in need. Let no harmful language come from your mouth, only good words that are helpful in meeting the needs and words that benefit those who hear them. Don't greet God's Ruach HaKodesh, so he stamped you as his property until the day of redemption. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, violent assertiveness, and slander, along with spitefulness. Instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgive each other, just as Messiah God has also forgiven you. So let's focus on verse 31.
Vamos a enfocarnos en el versículo 31.
He's saying get rid of all your worldly type of thought process.
Él está diciendo que se libren de todo proceso de pensar mundano.
People are quick to slander one another
Hay gente que están presto para calumniarse,
without any basis in truth.
sin base en la verdad.
People are very quick to be spiteful.
Hay gente que están presto para ser rencoroso.
People are very quick to be angry.
Hay gente que están presto para la ira.
And then in verse 32 he says,
Y en el versículo 32 dice,
instead be kind to each other, tender-hearted, and forgive each other, just as the Messiah God also forgave you. Okay, in verse 32,
en el versículo 32,
he's saying, forgive each other.
está diciendo perdónense el uno al otro.
How many times do I gotta forgive my brother?
¿Cuántas-
Kepha said to Yeshua.
Kefa preguntó a Yeshua, ¿cuántas veces tengo que perdonar a mi hermano?
7 times 70.
7 por 70 veces. 7 veces 70.
490 times.
490 veces.
So he's saying, show a lot of forgiveness.
Él está diciendo que demuestre mucho perdón.
Let it all be in God's hands.
Deja que todo se quede en manos de Dios.
You know, he's saying, be tender-hearted. Somebody might be learning.
Él está diciendo que sea tierno de corazón. Alguien puede estar aprendiendo.
Forgive each other.
Perdónense.
Stop being like the world.
Dejen de estar actuando como el mundo.
This is what he ends this chapter with.
Así es que él termina este capítulo.
As we see very clearly in tonight's study,
Como vemos claramente en el estudio de esta noche,
in section 9 and 10,
en sección 9 y 10,
he's quoting a lot of the law.
él está citando mucho de la ley.
And the law says, hand it over to God.
Y la ley dice, entrégaselo a Dios.
Act a certain way.
Actúa de cierta manera.
We're supposed to follow the same laws.
Estamos supuestos a seguir las mismas leyes.
There are certain laws for the community.
Hay ciertas leyes para la comunidad.
Don't be spiteful. Hand your problem over to God.
No sea rencoroso, vengativo, entrégaselo a Dios.
It's very difficult.
Es bien difícil.
You know, when people are coming from many different backgrounds,
Como mucha gente viene de muchas vidas o culturas diferentes.
but try to be tender to one another.
Traten de ser tiernos el uno con el otro.
All right, any questions or
¿Hay
comments?
preguntas o comentarios?
No, Anna? Sandra, you translate for her.
Okay.
Lo único que me aterra
The only thing that makes me afraid
a lo que tenemos que enfrentarnos si no seguimos las leyes.
is what we have to face or what we will face if we don't follow the laws.
Wow. You're going to have to, well, if you don't change your life,
No cambias tu vida.
Si no cambias tu vida,
then you're going to face a lot more.
entonces vas a enfrentarte con mucho más.
Because everybody's going to stand before the Lord.
Porque todos van a estar parados frente del Señor.
And Revelation 20 verse 12 says,
Y Apocalipsis 20:12 dice,
you're going to be judged by the books.
va a ser juzgado por los libros.
All the dead, that means everybody, Jew and Gentile, are going to be judged by the Torah.
Todos los muertos, eso significa judío y gentil, van a ser juzgados por la Torah.
Okay? All right, any other questions or comments?
¿Hay otras preguntas o comentarios?
All right, let's close chapter 4.
Vamos a cerrar el capítulo
And remember
4.
to go to WTRCradio.com to listen to great Messianic worship music live Monday through Friday.
Acuérdense que vayan a wtrcradio.com lunes a viernes, a jueves,
11 a.m.
de 11 en la mañana a 7 de la tarde.
Yes, and on Friday, an hour before sunset Eastern Time.
Y los viernes, Erev Shabbat, 1 hora antes de que caiga el sol, tiempo este.
So during your day, and even on your phone, download the app.
Durante tu día y hasta en el teléfono, descarga la aplicación.
Go to your app store and type Beth Goyim Live, and you can listen to it right on your phone.
Vaya a la tienda app, a Google Play y baje la aplicación.
Or just go to WTRCradio.com.
O vayan en el internet a www.wtrcradio.com.
All right, let's close in prayer. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings today. Thank you, Lord, for this powerful letter and this teaching from your servant Shaul. Let us grow in this understanding and let us further our knowledge and empty ourselves out of the world and fill it up back up with things that are good. Your name, Yeshua, and everybody said, Amen. Shalom.